Let me tell you a story about the time two fake cops tried to patrol my property like it was their personal playground, all because of a power-hungry HOA that thought they ruled the entire countryside. So, picture this. My name's Caleb, and I own a small farm just outside the newly built luxury community of Maple Hollow Estates. This land has been in my family for nearly a century. We raise chickens, goats, and a couple of cows. Nothing fancy, just honest farm life. But then came the so-called Maple Hollow Homeowners Association, a bunch of city slickers with money, giant SUVs, and a superiority complex. Now, my farm isn't even in their community. I'm literally on the other side of the property line. But that didn't stop them from trying to throw their weight around. Apparently, the HOA president, a woman named Cheryl Whitmore, didn't like the way my farm ruined the aesthetic of her neighborhood. Her real motive? She was trying to get investors to fund a golf course expansion, and my farm was in the wildest thumb on her pristine brochure. One day, I'm out back feeding the goats when two guys in cheap suits show up. They flash badges that say HOA Security Enforcement Division. I almost laughed. One of them, a smug guy named Todd, tells me I'm in violation of Maple Hollow HOA code, something about livestock odor, excessive noise, and visual disruption. Visual disruption? What does that even mean? He hands me a citation totaling $4,000 in fines. I try to explain calmly at first that my property isn't under HOA jurisdiction. I even offer to show them my deed, but they just talk over me. Todd says, "We don't make mistakes. You need to comply." Then he threatens to seize my animals if I don't pay the fines. That's when the Southern in me kicked in. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "If you touch one of my goats, it'll be the last thing you ever touch." You'd think that would scare them off. Nope. They came back the next day, and the next, for 2 straight weeks. These wannabe cops kept showing up. They harassed my farm hands, told them they'd be blacklisted from local jobs, even tried to block my tractor access to certain areas, claiming I was disturbing their residents. I finally had enough. I hired a lawyer named Stephanie King, a bulldog when it comes to property rights. First thing she told me, get everything on paper and get video if possible. Turns out, my barn has a couple of cameras, and wouldn't you know it, those fake HOA cops were caught on tape measuring my barn walls and discussing how to rezone the area once they got rid of me. So we sued, but I didn't stop there. I took it to social media. I posted the fines, the footage, and the story behind Cheryl's shady land scheme. And let me tell you, it went viral. Turns out, Maple Hollow hadn't sold out all its lots yet. Potential buyers started backing out, and the property values began to nosedive. Residents weren't thrilled either. Some of them had been suspicious of Cheryl and her little group of board members for months. They started digging and found out HOA money had been used to fund community improvements that just so happened to benefit Cheryl's personal property. A few residents even claimed they were fined for violations that didn't exist just to cover the HOA's spending shortfalls. The pressure got too much. Cheryl and her crew resigned. The new board was made up of folks who actually live there, not Cheryl's business partners. First thing they did? Disbanded the fake HOA police. But I was still suing, because my name was dragged through the mud and my farm hands had been threatened. The new board didn't want that smoke. They reached out with a settlement. They offered to cover all my legal fees, pay me damages for emotional distress, issue a public apology, file official documents with the county declaring the fines void and my property outside HOA bounds. I took the deal. I wasn't interested in bankrupting anyone, I just wanted peace. And now, I've got it. My animals are safe. My land is untouched. And Cheryl? She's trying to sell her house at a loss. Moral of the story? Don't underestimate a farmer just because your house costs more. We know our land better than any HOA map, and we'll fight for it tooth and nail. So, what would you have done? Would you have taken the settlement or gone scorched earth? Let me know in the comments and share your wildest HOA or neighborhood drama. Let's hear it.